Hi guys, Squirrel here. Welcome to another Flight Simulator episode. I am in Rome, and today we're in Fiumicino, I think that's how you say it, Fiumicino in Rome, Italy, which is LIRF, and we're on our way down to LIBD, which is Palais Macchi in Bari. So it's an Italy to Italy flight, basically. Should be some lovely scenery en route. One of the things, a couple of things actually. First thing is Squirrel Airlines skin, which is the one you see in front of you. You should now find that in the mod spreadsheet. The mod spreadsheet, of course, is linked in the video description. Don't forget that the mod spreadsheet has multiple tabs. There's a P3D tab. That's the one you need to look at, okay? So we just finished unloading the current passengers. The other thing is, I've got FSPassengers installed. Now, FSPassengers is an add-on that I've just started to play with. Let me just quickly show you here. It adds a new menu here, and if I look at the company manager, you'll see the Airbus A320 Squirrel Airlines. I had to buy this for 42 million. So you kind of have an in-game currency now. Effectively what happens is, I've created a company in this called Squirrel Airlines. I've then got some money, bought an Airbus A320. As I make flights, I am hauling virtual passengers. They're paying virtual money. They're having virtual satisfaction. They give you feedback, which increases your reputation or decreases it, and obviously gives you a profit if you do it correctly. And now I'm on 20 million. I think I was on 16 million a few flights ago. There is my pilot. You can see I've done 3 flights so far, logged 3 hours of flying time in FSPassengers. I am still learning how to use this tool. I don't know it fully, but I've set it up reasonably well. I've got failures just turned off for the moment. You can have failures go off. There's a small percentage of failures. Also, the maintenance of the aircraft, when you buy it, you can buy a lower maintenance aircraft, and that increases failure rate and running costs and all that kind of thing. So a lot of things are simulated. Even the aircraft's, flight times are being recorded by FSPassengers. It's kind of nice. On top of that, you can have an entire career mode if you want. You can have a career where you start off with a very light aircraft, and you have to, fly quite a lot of hours and then upgrade gradually till you get to the jets. I've not bothered with that, but you can play with that. Anyway, that's FSPassengers. Let's get on with this. We are fully deboarded. Now, the first thing I need to do is I need to start the flight in FSPassengers. So you go to FSPassengers, start, load current aircraft. So it says, hang on a sec. What I should have done, because I only just loaded taxi, I don't know why, but taxi state never loads in the parking brake. It's so annoying. So what you now do is you go to start, load current aircraft. Now, it randomizes this. It says there are currently 89 passengers waiting at the gate, which is about 60% of our capacity of the aircraft. So we probably need to take some cargo to make some money. You can slide up how much cargo you want to take, which is quite cool. Right, so this is the main screen here. What's going on is there are 89 passengers at the gate, alright? I decide here how many I want to take. So I'm going to take, in first class, I'm going to take 7 passengers. And then in economy class, I'm going to take all 82. That is way below what our current load is. Maximum takeoff weight of the Airbus A320 here is about 77 tons. We're currently going for 50. Now, bearing in mind, we've got to add some more fuel yet. So I've calculated my flight already using PFPX. I need about 4.3 tons, roughly. Okay, so I need to click on this and bring my fuel here. Watch that. I need to bring that up to about 4.3. Approximately. PFPX calculated more passengers, so I don't think I'm going to need 4.3 anyway, but I'll take it. And then, of course, I can take cargo. So I'm going to take quite a bit of cargo today because we haven't got many passengers. So we should be paid for the cargo as well. If we bring that up to, I don't know, 2 tons approximately. Let's say 2.1 in the rear. You would never get these things completely balanced, but they try to get them as balanced as they can. Let's say, I don't know, I said they're 80 kilos off, that's fine. So takeoff weight is 56 kilos though, 56 tons, sorry, not 56 kilos. Set our destination, which is LIBD, so it knows where we're going to.
Destination set.
Destination set. It already knows about my aircraft type. So now what I'm going to do is click on real-time load. So what FSPassengers will do is start to load up the cargo and the fuel in real time. So I'll say that'll take about 5 minutes, which is quicker than it would in reality, of course. But I'll say start that now. Make a quick note, we've got 89 passengers, we've got a 56.4 takeoff weight, we've got 4 tons of payload. There you go. Centre of gravity is at 17%, so we'll start that flight now. So that's that done. Then I need to tell GSX to start boarding. So we'll request boarding from GSX. That'll get all the nice scenery. Unfortunately, FSPassengers and GSX don't talk to each other. I'd like to think that one day they will. That would be kind of cool. The other thing that happens is, you can see this panel on the left here. You can see 5 minutes remaining. You can see the passengers getting on board there. Now, I will put the passenger light on. However, when this has finished loading, you'll see another passenger. You'll see a bunch of icons here, and one of them is to turn the passenger light on. I'll do that manually, so I have to click that. Like I say, it doesn't read the signal from the overhead. I wish it did, but it doesn't. While that's happening, let's go down here, and we shall start to load in the route. So we'll go to the init page. Now, the route is from LIRF to LIBD 01. Now, what I've done is, with PFPX, when I created the route, I exported an Airbus file and put it in the right folder. That is got a file named this now, which I can click on co-route, and it will just load the route up like that, which saves me keying in a whole bunch of waypoints, which is kind of nice when you're making a video. Flight number is SAL Squirrel Airlines 287, so I'll punch that in.
Hello.
Cost index is 35, you can hear the passengers getting on board. Cruise altitude today is flight level 330, so 33,000 feet. We're looking at minus 28 up there, so flight level 330 at minus... What did I say, 28? I think I said 28. I did say 28. Punch that in. We then go to the next page, and we put the block fuel in, which is 4.4 tons. So quite a lot of fuel. Way more than we need. So, the takeoff weight as calculated by this is 52 tons, which we know is not correct. Our takeoff weight is 56 tons, but we've got plenty of fuel in there, so we should be good. The trim will be set at 0.8 probably. If we go to the perf page, you can see it's 0.8 if we go flaps 1. What we'll probably do is go 0.9 because we've got a bit more fuel, a bit more weight on board than it expects. I'll sort that out hopefully for next time. Hello. Transition altitude in Rome is 6,000. So we'll just punch that in and make sure it's got that. And then we'll have a look at the flight plan. You can say we're taking off of LIRF, runway 34 right. I happen to know this flight plan looks okay because I can see what it should be. Notice we're going via a node called T, which is fantastic. What a name. And then there are no discontinuities until the end, which is exactly what we want, because the end we'll have to punch in anyway. The arrival, which we won't know, because today we're going to use the ATIS. So let's tune into ground, see if we can get some clearance. Request IFR clearance. .265. 0265. So acknowledge that. 119.2. 0265 squawk punched in. Okay. So we'll ignore that for now until we're ready to call a taxi on that. We are 1 minute away from all passengers being on board. So we're going to start firing up the APU now so we can get moving here. So hopefully the APU should be online roughly when the passengers have finished boarding. You can see from the outside that GSX is doing its thing. It's kind of loading everything up. But like I say, these two things are disconnected. You can hear the APU firing up. The APU's just here. That's the exhaust port there. But these things will load probably not in time with that. So FSPassengers will say, "Oh, your passengers are loaded," and then GSX will be like, "No, it's not. I'm not finished yet." So, but we try. Those two tools, one's adding scenery realism, if you like, and the other one's adding... almost makes it a bit like a virtual hauling, which is kind of nice. Right, so let's have a look at the weather here. METAR information currently for LIRF is 1005 millibars, I believe. I'll bring that down to 1005. Now, in terms of taxi and so on, it's about a 4 to 5 minute taxi. We've got to go this way. Down here, we'll take that taxiway. Runway 34 is just there, taking off in that direction. So it's a bit of a zigzag snake over there.
Welcome aboard and thank you for flying with us. We now request your full attention.
Seatbelt sound's going on. I'll click this icon here.
The safety features of this aircraft.
Now you see them getting on board and wearing the seatbelt now. So she's going to start taking them through the whole safety features, the usual stuff. GSX has not yet finished its thing, but I'll get the doors ready. In fact, I'll tell you what we need to do. Ground services.
Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention to these life-saving tips in case of
Still on
emergency.
power disconnect.
There are several emergency exits on this aircraft. Please take a few moments now to locate your nearest exit. In some cases...
Okay, you see the final bit of cargo is being loaded. The passengers are on board, so I can close the passenger doors at the very least.
By moving the handle in the direction of the arrow. Each door is equipped with an inflatable slide, which may also be detached and used as a life raft.
So yeah, there are icons here which I'll take you through in a minute, but essentially we've got music. Yes, music. So you play music to keep the passengers happy while you're taxiing so they don't get bored. You can also give them food and drink. I've set it to automated food and drink. You can even declare an emergency if you want to. But keep your eye out on the passenger satisfaction rating. As we start to fly, you'll notice maybe some turbulence and the fear factor will go up and they'll start feeling uncomfortable. It happens. Okay, boarding complete. Right. Let's close the doors. And we shall request taxi.
Round 1000 with November, ready to taxi IFR. 1000, taxi to and hold short of runway 34 right, contact tower on 127.625 when ready.
Okay, acknowledge taxi clearance.
Taxi to and hold short runway 34 right, 1000.
Okay.
Round Pacifica 625, taxi to gate, Pacifica 625, taxi to gate 30.
Let's go nose left, tail right.
Delta, Bravo, Hotel.
I'll tell GSX to push us back. So I thought I'd turn this on as a warm-up towards getting onto VATSIM. I'm not on VATSIM yet, but I will be soon. So I'm just getting used to all the flying procedures and stuff. Because there is a lot to remember, particularly when you're recording videos and stuff, there's quite a bit to remember. But procedures are one thing, flying the aircraft on your own is another. This is effectively a two-man job, this aircraft. So, yeah, there's a lot to do. Until some of it becomes almost muscle memory, it's a bit much to try and do it all on your own.
Locking gear.
127.625. Okay, so 127.625 is the tower, which we shall tune into when we get over to runway 34 right.
Completed. Live has been inserted. Release parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
Okay, so we start engine at will. So first thing to do is put the beacons on, because if you don't and you start the engines, FSPassengers will notice and penalise for you. So we start the clock, and we shall start engine 2. So keep your eye on that valve over here. That one there. That's currently vertical because it's closed. When that goes horizontal, engine 2 is up and running. It'll stabilise, you'll see the pressure and the temperature come up. All that kind of good stuff. So we're cleared to an altitude of 9,000 at the moment, so we need to keep our eye on that. Lock that in. Lock everything into fully automated. It's a very nice day. Look at the clouds. Wow, it's so nice. Considering it's the middle of winter as well, it actually looks really sunny out there. But the temperature's not that high, unfortunately. In fact, the temperature down there at the moment, if I have a look at the METAR information, is 9 Celsius. So it's not that bad. 9 Celsius is pretty mild, considering the middle of January. Okay. Lovely pushback. Ready for parking brake.
Set parking brakes.
Okay, you can see engine 2 was stabilised, so engine 1's getting fired up now. And then we shall do the after start checklist. I've already done the before start. Beacons on, thrust levers are idle, parking brake and all that kind of stuff. That's already been done. That squeaky funny noise is the usual Airbus dog barking.
Unlocking gear.
If you want to know what it is, go to my last video where the same question was asked and it was answered quite thoroughly. Okay, it's still coming up here, you can see it.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Okay. We've got a hand signal as well, so after start checklist, APU is not required, so that can now come off. Anti-ice is not required. Ecam status is good at the moment. Flaps 1. Spoiler is armed. Now the pitch trim, if you remember, I'm going to set it to, keep your eye on the controls there. I'm going to set it to 0.9 up. There's the number there, that's 1. 0.9 up, and we'll do a flight control check. Full left, full right, full up, full down, rudder left, and rudder right. So flight controls are all good. Right, so what else have we got? We've got our hand signal received. So the taxi light can now go on. And what we do is now put some music on, which you can't hear because I turned it down too much. I turned the volume down on the music and I thought we'd be able to hear it, but we can't. No, it's too quiet. Oh well. maybe it means my VOD won't get muted by Twitch or something. Copyright strikes. Okay, maximum brake there. Takeoff config has been checked. Let's begin the taxi. So like I say, it is a few minutes taxiway. So what FSPassengers are doing, if you notice, is it says that everybody's on board, everybody's seatbelted, passenger satisfaction is currently at a maximum, and the passengers like the music. You don't have to put the music on, but you get a few bonus percentages if you do.
Fly runway heading, climb and maintain 6,000. Departure frequency is 119.2, squawk 2272. Orbit 6122, cleared to altitude.
Like I say, that's not VATSIM, that's just the inbuilt air traffic.
6,000. Departure at 119.2, squawk 2272. Orbit 6122, reback correct. Contact ground on.
Right, I'm going to go at like 20 knot ground speed, which is reasonably quick, especially when you go around bends. You're supposed to be doing it at about 10. But I want us to get over there quickly. There we go. So let's have a look at the scenery while we're here. Again, this is a custom airport, a purchased airport, so it's in the video description. Mod spreadsheet, you can get a look at that in the mod spreadsheet if you want to know which one it is I'm using. Same thing when we land, LIBD, that is also at Bari, that is also a purchased airport. I don't like landing on default scenery airports, so I like to show you guys what the custom ones look like. Now, when we get there, when we get to the runway, we'll have to stop, go through our before takeoff checklist. We'll also need to get takeoff clearance from tower, so we're tuning to tower and get clearance to take off. And we'll check everything's good. But you can see the ECAM down here is showing green, which is good. Everything is green, and that's what we want. Right, that is 3-4 right. Just on the right there. Dead ahead. Now, if you actually take a hard left, that is runway 25. Just to the left of us is runway 25, just there. But we're not going that way. There it is. That's 25. And this is 34 right. Okay, we shall now request takeoff clearance, IFR from Flume Tower.
Fiumicino Tower 1000, ready for IFR departure, runway 34 right. 1000, cleared for takeoff, runway 34 right.
Acknowledge takeoff clearance.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 34 right, 1000.
Cool, we're now cleared to 9,000, so let's put on the takeoff lights. Landing lights, and notify the cabin crew that we're ready for takeoff. Put the strobes onto auto. We are ready to take off. Now it's quite a long runway, so we're just going to basically do a rolling start. It's pretty long, this thing. Okay, so we'll do the initial climb. We'll fly it manually. Just before we bank right, we should be coming down to from flex into climb at that point. But we will need to pay attention to any particular instructions it gives us. Okay, straighten her up. Engines to 50%. We are stable. Climb, flex. Should have turned the music off, that was my bad. We should have turned the music off before we got on the runway. I'll probably lose points for that. It's 100 knots past. We are coming up to V1. And coming up for rotate. Rotate. There we go. We have a positive climb.
Gear up.
Frightened by the turbulence, you see? On the left, there's a bit of turbulence on takeoff. A little bit freaked out by it.
1000, contact Rome, departure on 119.2.
Launch handoff.
119.2, 1000.
Let's just get it to tune it for us. Okay, starting to bank right now. Lower it into climb. It's very, very turbulent. Look at this. Look at it. Look at the controls. They're all over the place. Flaps up now. While that's going on, turn off the taxi lights. Right, I'm going to engage autopilot while it is so incredibly bouncy right now. Make sure our heading bug is pushed in. Right, disarm the... Whoops! Flaps. Disarm the spoilers. Wrong button. Okay, gears up. Flaps are retracted. Exterior lights need to stay on just for now. Packs are on. Right, now the transition pressure is 10,000, so when we pass, 6,000. So as we pass 6,000, we'll need to revert to standard pressure. However, the seatbelt signs don't really want to come off until the turbulence has gone and we're way over 10,000. They'll start serving food and drink at 18.
We're approaching transition altitude.
Transition means bring those lights off or FS passengers will freak out. Standard pressure. Okay. 131.1. Contact Rome Center. Okay, that's better. We're climbing up to 190 now. Let's have a look at the view outside, or the view from the passenger's wing. It currently looks like this. From that side, looks like that. So it's a lovely day outside. We're only cleared to 1900 at the moment. I wonder if they're going to let us climb all the way to 33. Now when we reach 18, they should automatically start to serve food and drink. Okay, that's not us, that's World Travel 2001. Okay, we don't need to worry about that. I've actually got an engine view, look at this. That one. That's a nice view. Right, listen. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're now serving beverages. Juices and soft drinks around the house. Alcoholic beverages, they're gonna cost you.
There's a general sarcasm in the flight crew voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now turned off the seatbelt sign. You may now feel free to roam about the cabin.
So those messages vary.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we'll begin serving meals. If you'd like a meal, please extend your tray table and lift your seats to the upright position. Thank you.
Okay, we're cleared. Up to 330 now. Yeah, there's a certain sarcasm in the crew. It's so funny. Like, she makes the sort of comments. It depends who you pick as well. Some of them are really polite. The other voice packs are quite sarcastic, and they'll say things about, you know, take the seatbelt signs off, but that doesn't mean so you can, you know, walk around when you want to or fall over, because the other passengers will be very annoyed by that, and other such comments. But you can see what's happening. There's a crew serving food and drinks now. What we can now do is play a movie. However, it's better if you do it via the menu, because if you go via the menu, utility, no, where is it? Flights, service on board. Oh, it's automated. Ah. Okay, so when you do the food and drink manually, you get to choose the movie as well. But it looks like it's going to do it for us. Yeah, it's disabled it. Okay, that's annoying. I would have thought that you could actually put a movie on, even though you'd chosen food and drink to be automated. So it looks like it automates the cabin crew completely. Let's zoom out and have a look at this. Alright, you can see a bit of a dogleg right going on here. It's a bit of a strange SID coming out of Rome. It takes us up in a sort of easterly direction, and then we do a dogleg right. I don't know what the reason is. It could be something to do with Rome itself and noise levels. Or it could be that mountain there. For whatever reason though, we've got to go this way and climb and then turn right. Right, well you can see passenger satisfaction is 97%, crew serving food and drink 88%, so that's almost completed. Every now and again we get this turbulence, so I've kept the runway, the belts on, sorry. Because you see this, what happens? You get this kind of fear, adrenaline factor kicks in whenever you get turbulence. It's been on and off a couple of times during cruise, but we've picked it up here because we're approaching top of descent. We've not got any information here about our descent level, so I'm just going to punch it in at 10,000. Now we're now thinking about the actual approach. Now looking at the... It's a fairly simple approach into 07 to be honest. But looking at the weather information down at LIBD currently, we are looking at 1003 millibars of pressure. Surface condition is rain, so we're coming into some rainy weather. And we've got 8 degrees Celsius. Don't need any anti-ice, it's quite mild and wet basically. Yeah, let's go down to the next phase, which is the descent. Actually, we'll do that in a minute. Let's finish the cruise first. Okay, we can't actually request a descent path yet. Looking at the nav charts though, the transition altitude here is 5,000 and we need to intercept the ILS at about 3,000. So that's where we need to be heading down to. So I'll punch this down to 3 because it is a straight descent. But maybe we'll get some new instructions at some point. There we go, 210. Okay. We are now descending to flight level 210. And we shall await further instructions. In theory, we should be coming in on ILS 07. Like I said, the METAR information down there is 8 degrees. QNH is 1003. And the barrel reference is 420. We'll punch that in and wait to see if we get any extra information. Now, like I say, FSPassengers, what I need to remember to do is to punch these on when the co-pilot says, oh, we're about to pass through transition. Even though the transition is actually 5,000. I don't know why it doesn't hook into that information, but if you don't do it, I think we're going to get penalised anyway because of some of the things I've done. Let's have a look at off the wing here. It's typically Rome. Very, very bumpy, very hilly. I wonder if there are that many flat areas in Italy. Look at that turbulence. Actually, I think I didn't leave the... That would have come on anyway, but we'll leave that on. I've left the seatbelt sounds on for a while because of the turbulence. Hopefully we can switch it off shortly. The satisfaction is 90%, so they've still got adrenaline by this turbulence. It doesn't seem to be... The seatbelt sound being on doesn't seem to affect their satisfaction level, like the fact they're effectively being told to not leave their seats. However, if you don't put it on, then the adrenaline just goes up. They're such a timid bunch. It does look misty down there. Okay, turn left heading.
We have started our descent. In preparation for landing, please make sure your seat backs and trays are in their full upright position. Make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened and all carry-on luggage is stowed underneath the seat or in the overhead bin. Please turn off all electronic devices and safely park at the gate.
So we're now going off our normal flight plan, as per the instructions. Descending down to flight level 210, so we'll just await some more instructions here. It is seriously bumpy out there. Fed passengers are satisfied, plus 5%, okay. They got food. I'm surprised we don't throw up in this turbulence. Okay, that's not for us. Look at the coastline. This is the east coast of Italy. It's funny because I've driven like in Eurotruck. I've been up and down this coast. It's funny to see it from up above, you know. It'd be kind of cool if you could turn on an option to label things in P3D. If it would just label it, you know, this town is here or this city is here, just so that you've got an idea of where things are. I know that we're near Foggia is around here somewhere. Okay, so you can see where we're going to reach our... Yeah, you can see the rain now. You can see where we're going to reach 9,000 here. At that point. Yeah, you can see the rain. Weather incoming. Okay, the weather is absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. And I have to say, it's been, like, it's just crazy. Like, if you look at the passenger satisfaction, the passengers are on, like, 20% fear. They are not happy. We're just getting vectored in at the moment. But the visibility is just shocking. As well as the turbulence. If I could put music on, I would do. The passengers are still satisfied with the food, though. So that's keeping them a little bit happy. But in all honesty, when we get off the aircraft, I expect them to just say, we thought we were going to die. Right, we're getting vectored in at the moment onto our final. There we go. We're keeping it 3,000 for now. So we get established. I'm going to stay at flaps 1. Can't arm the approach for some reason. I think I've got the wrong frequency punched in. It's okay though, you can... Actually, maybe the localizer's not established yet. Let's wait till we get a lock star. Possibly we're too far out. I'm just going to go flaps 2 on this because it is seriously bumpy out there. Course correct, slightly left. In fact, we'll go left slightly more because you can see we're going off the centre line right now. Passengers are not happy, they're really just not happy. Okay. Landing lights are all on. We're just waiting to pick up that glide slope now. I'm resisting putting out the landing gear just yet. Okay, speed brake is armed. Landing checklist is good. No, it's not having it. I think I've got the wrong frequency punched in. It's a bit late to collect it now. Let's fly it manually. Okay. We should be 11 nautical out. Basically looking at these 2 diamonds now. What a view. Okay, we're about to establish on the vertical glide slope. and I'll wait till that diamond comes across and we'll be back online at that point. Let's get rid of that. This is horrendous weather. Okay, we're now on the vertical glide path. Start descending slightly. Literally flying instruments because there is nothing else. You cannot see anything that's going on. Okay.
Gear down.
Let's get the gear down now. Once that gear is locked, we'll go full flaps. Three greens. Full flaps. Passenger satisfaction is coming back up. Wowzers. Horrendous landing. They're still quite frightened, but in actual fact the weather is a bit calmer down here.
1000, cleared to land, runway 7.
Okay.
Cleared to land, runway 7. 1000.
Landing clearance. Let's pull up slightly here. You can see the weather on the radar. Look at it in front of us. It's unbelievable.
Speed. 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 Speed.
Complaining about the speed.
Speed.
Been a bit low.
Speed. 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 Speed.
The thing is, the speed is being managed, so...
Speed. 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 Speed.
Let's get the speed back up. Stop it complaining. Okay, I appear to have completely lost the runway. There it is.
$500, $400, $300, 100 above, 200 minimum,
Okay.
100,
I was a bit concerned then.
70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 5,
Let's get that nose down. Decel.
Reverse thrust set.
Ooh. I actually thought we were going to have to declare a missed approach
89.
then.
60 knots.
Disarm the reversers. Okay, let's vacate the runway.
1000, turn next taxiway.
Let's clean up a bit here. Yeah, I honestly thought we were going to declare miss then.
Ladies and gentlemen, please do not leave your seat until the aircraft has come to a complete stop. Contact ground on 118.3.
Okay, ground handoff.
Going to 118.3, 1000. Bari ground 1000, taxi to parking. 1000, taxi to
Ladies and gentlemen, on a wing and a prayer, we have arrived at our destination. On behalf of the captain and crew, we thank you for making us your first choice air carrier and hope you will join us again.
using taxiway Bravo Tango Lima 1000.
Okay. Bravo Tango Lima to taxi to parking. Okay, so this is Bravo ahead of us. I'll turn the music on. Let's fire up the APU. Taxi lights are on. It doesn't actually say what gate we're going to. General aviation parking. That's a bit boring. This is Bravo Tango. This is Lima. Let's see if we can get parking. Next page. 203 maybe. That'll do. 201, 202. Presume this is 203. Yep. Okay. Cut that off a bit. Least of my problems right now. Point 4. Parking brake set. Please cut engines. I will do just as soon as I've checked that the APU is on. Phew, that was fun. Stop the clock. What did you think of the parking, I wonder? You parked a bit askew. Don't think I did actually, Pally Peeps. I think I parked okay, if I'm honest. Let's get GSX to do a D-board. Okay, we'll get rid of the doors. So the way this works now is as soon as we open the doors, let's turn the music off. Okay, let's get the doors. Seatbelt signs can go off shortly. Cargo doors can get opened. Wait for the air stairs to get in before we open those doors. That was a crazy, crazy landing, and it very nearly was a missed approach. Beacon light can come off. Now I've cut the engines, as can that taxi light and all the other lights. Hopefully the strobes got turned off automatically. Let's get the doors open now. And then seatbelt signs can come off. Now it'll start to disembark, you see.
Ladies and gentlemen, the door has now been opened. As you make your way to the exit, please make sure you have all your personal items and carry-on luggage.
So that was an interesting flight. The approach, I got multiple handoffs and then seriously bad weather during that descent. Then almost missed the runway completely. and was about to literally hit Toga and just get out of there, and then just saw the runway. Thought, we can make it in a safe way. So thankfully, but that just shows you, you know, with that kind of visibility, it just shows you very quickly you can get yourself in a complete mess. With the added complication of me using the air traffic control system, meant that I had a lot to think about. So, of course, when you've got a lot more to think about, you make a lot more mistakes, which is what I did. But we'll get our report in a minute. That'll tell us what happened.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you.
Okay. Onboarding complete.
Captain, the plane is empty. All passengers have left.
Woohoo! Right, now we get our end of flight report. This should be fun. So we go down to here, we've got end flight. And it goes, Captain Squirrel. And let's just see, we flew 206 nautical miles. Exceptional flight, 100%. Relieved to have landed safely with extreme weather. They did experience extreme weather. We're in a better mood because they had food, but pleased by the music on the ground. Very nice addition. We're irritated by the excess G-forces. Yeah, that would have been probably when I started to pull... How could they call it an exceptional flight with excess G-forces? Probably when I had that almost missed approach, I suspect, is when they got a bit unhappy. Right, now it gives you a breakdown of the income. So you can see the target ticket income, the cargo income, which is 4,000 euros. Service and fuel, so it takes fuel into account, of course. Airport taxes, insurance costs, penalty costs. See penalty points. Okay, yeah, look. Wow. All aircraft are prohibited to exceed 250 knots below 10,000 feet. Your speed was 114 knots above this limit. Our company received a fine. Right, so... Yeah. So during descent, I need to restrict the speed to 250 knots as soon as I hit 10,000, which I need to watch. At one point, I think I was asked to expedite my descent, I seem to remember, which could have been explained that. Landing lights must be activated when entering the runway until 10,000 feet. You forgot them. Must be activated when entering the runway. Yeah, that's because I turned... Remember on the ascent, I turned that off at 6,000, which was the... 6,000 transition. So I got fined for that. But I got 330 points for a pilot bonus. Very nice landing, perfect flight, no problems, very satisfied passengers, landed at scheduled airport, extreme weather conditions, but a safe landing. So I got a bunch of points. The rep went up 2.39%. We didn't make a massive profit because we got, you know, some various fines, but we still made, what's that, 509,000 euros? Eh? Oh, real times 50. Oh, okay. I think that must be a difficulty factor. So we'll record that. Yep, and that's that. SL 730 ended. Flight in my pilot log. So that goes down as another successful flight. That was a very interesting approach and almost horribly went wrong. Hope you enjoyed that flight, guys. And don't forget the Squirrel Airlines skin. You can get it from the mod spreadsheet download link. Until next time, take care. Happy flying.